Alright, so really quickly wanted to go through your question, how to create a reminder email, and you wanted to trigger 30, 60, and 90 days. Easiest way to do that, I created your test list. Here you go. So title, I added that one in there, column A, B, completed, due date, and assigned to. Workflow design, I'm going to actually hide some of these. I'm going to do this really quickly and we'll move this in because you don't need it. I was playing around with something. So essentially this is what your workflow should look like. Imagine this is not here. I'll just delete it. What you want to do is one, come in, set your workflow settings. You want to trigger when the item is started, yes. And let's see, do that. Everything else is fine. Yeah. All right. So when the item started, you want to assign a flexi task, and the reason for that is you want to assign that to the assigned to person. Once this item is started, you want to give them a task, and that task is going to be that hey, you need to complete this. And then, so here's the way it looks. Assigned to person. This is a variable. Well, it's not a variable. It's context from the lookup. I can pull information from the item itself. Assigned to person. So I have that brought in here. The test description. That's just a description. You type whatever you want. I also changed the outcomes. This was originally it was approved. I changed it to yes. And I can leave the comments optional. You can make them required if you want to. You don't have to worry about any of these because you're sending it to one person. Task outcome. This is just a variable that's stored. The variable is just a single line of text. Single line of text here. So create new, single line of text, save it, and then it'll show up there. That's all that is. And task IDs is a collection for that. Don't really need them, but that's there. So you assign a task to the person. You want to create a reminder. So say the person originally creates a task and they don't do anything. In 30 days, you want to send them a reminder. So this is where the number of reminders, in your case, you said 30, 60, 90. So that's 3 reminders. So hence the number 3. And then the time between reminders, 30 days. I set this to business hours. And then also, please review your task, etc. You can put whatever information you want in here. I'm just putting this in for general purposes. So once you have your reminder, you can actually look at the task notification itself. Don't have to worry about any of that. It's pretty much set up the way it should be. But should be good to go on that, and then you just simply save it. Next thing is if they were to respond no, so they've responded to the task before 30 days, what I'm doing here is setting the completed field, like you add yes or no, setting that to no. I'm not using a yes no field, I'm using a choice field, and I'm setting it yes to no because I just choose to do it that way. The same thing here, if they respond yes before or during the 90-day period, I'm setting that field value to yes. If I had another field in here, say for example column B was where I wanted comments, I could bring in their comments as well, and that will come in from the task. So I would have to look at the item properties, I believe. I didn't store it, but I could look at the item information from the task and bring the task information back through and store it here. So let's do that really quick. And another way you could probably just query that in. So if I were to make that required, so there we go. Don't create branches. Other information here you don't really need. And save. And do this really quick. Workflow context should be workflow data, all approver comments. There you go. So that will bring in the comments, and you can store the comments in column B. You can also do that on this side if you wanted to as well. It's not necessary, but again, it's one of those things that if you want that, you can grab that data and it'll store it as a string of text. So that's pretty much it. Once you do that and save, so once you do that, I'm actually going to save this guy down, and what it will do is it'll workflow and run. It'll create the task, it'll send it to the assigned to person. They'll have to complete the task. If they don't complete it in 30 days, it'll send them a reminder. It'll send them another reminder and another reminder until it's 3 reminders. And then if they were to do something in between that, it will update it and then end. That's pretty much it. That's how That's what you explained, and that's pretty much how you can do that. I will export this out and send it over to you. So I hope that this answers your question and gets you going in Nintex.